So we've got 6,859 men that we're just going to ship around, and hopefully with those we will be able to deal with the rebels. We'll send them to Griffin's Roost, because they're a bit small to be taking on that force, and if they come after them, then we've got the high ground and we should win that battle. But I don't think we need to oppose them too much, because they get so little war score from capturing our territories, I'd imagine, and theirs are more valuable to them, so if we just take away their territories, we should be fine. So yeah, the Westerlands are trying to take control of the Reach, which would mean that there would actually be the 7 kingdoms would become 4 kingdoms, assuming we don't win this war. Now apparently we can't actually... I see. Our liege's opinion of us is too low, and so we can't request liege intervention. But perhaps we should consider getting him on our side. I don't quite know how. So we have got quite a lot of northerners bearing down on us from the north, funnily enough, but not too many. Well, I say not too many. I don't know where they're coming from, but we'll deal with it. So with these other reinforcements, we should have a force that's capable of taking on these rebels and crushing them fairly convincingly, I should hope. Because these sellsword commanders are actually pretty good at what they do. So we've captured Lolliston Keep, and we're just working on... Oh, hello. Oh dear goodness me. Oh, that's a lot of troops. Where are these coming from? Oh. Alright. Oh, this is such a pain in the arse, and I don't understand why he keeps getting all these reinforcements, but he does. So, we're going to have to deal with that at some point. Yeah, it's going to take us a while to capture Griffin's Roost. And it's going to be particularly tough to fend off all these new levies that the North seems to have acquired. So we've lost a small territory there that hasn't really affected the war score much. That's fine. Because we do have the numbers to be able to deal with this now, so soon it'll all be at hand. Or in hand. Under control in any case. Still doesn't want Devon Snow. Unlikely that we'll be able to assassinate him. That's a shame. I think the war would continue were he to die. And he would simply have fewer... Well, I mean, he currently seems to have infinite troops, so any amount of troops would be less than the current amount under his control, but, you know, I'm looking for ways to try and stem the flow of soldiers just pouring out of the north. So the vast majority of our troops now are sellswords rather than actual levies, but the difference between me and Jorah is that he seems to be able to just keep raising levies. You know, every time we slaughter them he just raises some more. And with a territory that big, I suppose you could consider it unsurprising. So there we go, we've captured Lolliston. So there's just another city or small town to capture, but I'm slightly concerned that the Northmen are going to reach River Run before we do, so I'm going to send my men up there. It's a good territory to hold because it's probably the one that's giving us the most war score. It's probably the one they value the most, and it's also one that's quite easy to defend because it's got the rivers, funnily enough. So the important thing about this as well is that we need to hopefully finish this war here fairly quickly so that we can get these troops back up to the Riverlands, and then we can make a decisive end to the war with Jorah. It's just a little bit of a pain to have to juggle 2 wars. There's certainly some force he's got there. But we've got about even numbers and we'll have the territorial advantage, and I'd like to think that our commanders are probably better than his as well. So that should all play into our favour, should they choose to attack us in River Run. Which I think they will. I think they will. There are now no sellswords of any considerable number that I could buy. A lot of them are already under my hire, so yeah, there's just one group of mercenaries with 60 men, so this is pretty much all the troops we can have now. We need to... well, we need to win with what we've got left. Both wars, it would seem. Although saying that, thinking about it, if we win this rebellion, then people will probably have a more favourable opinion of us, which may allow us to raise more levies. Maybe that's why the North keeps coming up with all these troops. Jorah just keeps buying all the Northern Lords like another round of drinks, and they send another 20,000 men down south. Who knows? But in any case, improving my relations could only help. So I've decided to send this smaller group up north because I think I have enough men in the Stormlands to deal with the rebellion, and yeah, I'm not liking those numbers that the North has. They probably won't arrive in time to intervene in this conflict, but it's 2,500 men, which at this stage is going to make quite a difference. Much as we did start out with colossal numbers of troops on both sides, we have significantly fewer each now. So we're slowly getting through Griffin's Roost. It's quite a tough castle to crack, I'm sure. Although saying that, actually better not. Not far away from conflict with that main northern force now. They've got an advantage of 1,500 men, slightly more over us, assuming those reinforcements link up with it, and I can't see them not doing that. Oh no, wait, no. No, there's another 2,000 there. Yeah, make that about 3,500 advantage then. Our reinforcements still haven't arrived by sea. Oh, cripes. We've been attacked in River Run. So, yeah, this is the major conflict. So they don't have any commanders in place. That's the low crown authority that's doing that. Only sellswords really end up in charge of troops. I have got that one, actually kind of useless Dornish vassal leading one flank, but yeah. So we've got the territory advantage, and we've got the commander advantage. It's just the numbers that we don't have, and yeah, it makes me slightly nervous for this, but well, our left flank seems to be going, but their centre is almost gone. Our right flank is suffering as well, but I'm thinking our centre can just rally and help out whichever side we need. We might lose one flank, but we'll certainly... I think we should win this. So there goes their centre. Then our left flank should just... oh no, it hasn't quite held together. And neither has our right flank, actually. But we should be able to take them from here. We seem to be very imbalanced as a force, to be honest. I'm thinking that's why we might have lost troops on either side. And I think that's down to the troops from Lannisport. They imbalanced the whole thing. But we've won. And we killed a lot more of them than they did of us. Which is just about enough to even up our numbers. And seeing as we have marginally more morale than they do, we should start chasing them down. Because we're not going to lose any from these fights, because they have, you know, virtually nothing left, so we're, you know, just slaughtering broken men in their droves, which is kind of a depressing way of looking at it, but there you go. And I've completely gotten it wrong as for the territory that they were heading to. I actually thought that they were heading to Branstone, but it turns out the bulk of their forces went to Lolliston. So now we're going to have to, you know, get ourselves in gear and head over there. Hopefully before they capture it as well. My favourite subject does not interest me anymore, and I cannot speak. So I'm no longer zealous. Oh, which gave me 2 martial. Well, thanks very much. So we're attacking them again. Their centre's going to pretty much crumble at this point, I should think. Hopefully we can limit losses on our side this time, because we don't. Our troops aren't quite as expendable as theirs are. But yes, there we go. Didn't even lose a flank, and yeah, we did a pretty good job of crushing those northerners there. Well, they lost 3,000 men. We didn't do that bad a job. And we're gonna... Oh, they did have time to capture territory, or rather we didn't finish capturing the territories, that's correct. And so we're gonna carry on chasing them down, because there's some more northerners there. We've almost taken Griffin's Roost as well. So things are finally starting to look up in a war that's been plagued by sort of misfortune and also nervousness. Now, there's a large Iron Islanders force there, but I'm pretty sure someone's trying to take the Iron Island, so they might be more preoccupied with that. But with that said, they have just loaded themselves onto ships, so maybe they have every intention of just ignoring that threat. Let's face it, the Iron Islanders don't seem to be the most savvy of strategists, or strategists, rather. Whichever. Strategists. It's strategists. I should know that.